Welcome to Mind Unlocked. If you picked up this book, it probably means there's something inside you whispering, or maybe even shouting, that life could be more free, more focused, more fulfilling. And yet, for reasons you might not fully understand, something feels locked. This book is about finding that lock, discovering the key, and using it to open doors you didn't even know were closed. I want you to imagine your mind as a house. Some rooms you walk in and out of every day. Others, you've kept closed for so long, you've forgotten what's inside. And then there are the locked doors, the ones you've told yourself you're not ready for, not worthy of, or not strong enough to open. My job in this book is to hand you the keys, not one magic key, but a set of them. Keys you can use to break fear, reframe doubt, reset your focus, and step into the life you've always imagined. Think of me as your coach, sitting right next to you. This isn't theory. It's not complicated psychology. It's real, simple, practical shifts you can apply the moment you close the book or the moment you pause this audio. Together, we're going to unlock the power of your mind. And once that door opens, you'll see that the life you imagine isn't just possible, it's waiting for you. Chapter 1: The Invisible Prison. Imagine waking up every day and moving through life as if you're free, but underneath, something invisible is holding you back. That invisible something, your mind. Not your brain, not your intelligence, but the mental patterns, beliefs, and stories you've been carrying since childhood, adolescence, or even last week. These patterns are subtle. They don't scream at you. They whisper you can't, you're not ready, or that's not for you. Over time, these whispers grow into walls. Walls you don't see, yet walls you bump into every single day. This is what I call the invisible prison, a mindset shaped by fears, doubts, and limiting beliefs that keep you from living the life you imagine. And the scary part, most people don't even know they're trapped. 1.1. What mental barriers really are. Mental barriers are not physical. You can't touch them, measure them, or see them under a microscope, but their effects, oh, they're very real. They make you hesitate when opportunity knocks. They convince you that your dreams are too big or not for you. They steal your confidence, energy, and focus, slowly draining your potential. Think about the last time you wanted to start something, maybe a project, a business, or a new habit, but stopped yourself. Maybe you told yourself, "I don't have time. I'm not skilled enough. It probably won't work anyway." These are mental barriers in action, and here's the kicker, they feel real. Your mind tells you it's protecting you, keeping you safe from failure or disappointment, but in reality, it's just keeping you small. 1.2. The origins of your prison. Where do these barriers come from? The sources are everywhere. Childhood experiences, what you were told, what you observed, and even what was left unsaid. Society and culture, expectations about what success looks like, what a person should be, and what's considered normal. Past failures, that one time you tried and failed, or the constant reminder that you can't. Self-criticism, the inner voice that compares you to others and says, "You're not enough." The tricky part is that these walls were built over years. They didn't appear overnight, and they won't fall overnight. But the good news, every wall has a door, every lock has a key. 1.3. How to spot the bars. Many people never notice their invisible prison until life hits them hard. Here are some signs. You procrastinate on things that matter. You often say, "I wish I could," or "maybe someday." You feel stuck even when opportunities are in front of you. You compare yourself constantly and feel you come up short. These aren't weaknesses, they're clues. The clues tell you where the walls are. The walls are your starting point, not your end point. 1.4. The cost of living locked. You might be asking yourself, what's the harm if I stay here? I'm comfortable enough. Comfortable, maybe. Fulfilled, probably not. Living behind invisible walls comes with hidden costs. Lost potential. How many ideas, opportunities, or experiences never see the light because your mind said no? Stalled growth. Your life moves, but not in the direction you truly desire. Regret, that slow, creeping feeling that life is passing by and you're just watching. Stress and anxiety, the mind loves predictability. Staying small creates tension, worry, and self-doubt. The irony, you built this prison thinking it would protect you, but in the end, it restricts your freedom and happiness. 1.5. Breaking the illusion. Here's the first truth of unlocking your mind. The prison exists only in your perception. Perception is powerful. It shapes reality. And if you can change your perception, you can tear down walls you didn't even know were there. Start by asking yourself, which fears are guiding my choices instead of my dreams? Which habits or beliefs are holding me back? What would I do if failure was impossible? Answer these honestly. Even writing them down can start to crack the walls. The goal isn't to rush or panic, it's awareness. Awareness is the first key. 1.6. The mind is your ally, not enemy. Your mind built the prison, yes, but here's the secret: the same mind can build the key. It's like a muscle. If you train it in fear, it builds walls. If you train it in courage, focus, and resilience, it builds doors. Doors you can walk through every day. That's what this book is about, giving you the tools, exercises, and mindset shifts to take the keys and start walking freely. 1.7. Small action, big change. Breaking free doesn't start with giant leaps. It starts with tiny steps. Noticing negative self-talk. Questioning "I can't" thoughts. Taking one brave action each day, no matter how small. Each small step weakens the bars. Each conscious choice builds strength. Over time, you'll look back and realize the prison you once thought was permanent is gone. 1.8. Your journey begins here. This is your invitation. You can choose to keep walking behind walls you didn't even see, or you can start noticing, questioning, and unlocking. In the chapters ahead, we'll explore how to identify your hidden mental barriers, how to reprogram limiting beliefs, habits, exercises, and daily rituals that build momentum, tools for courage, focus, and resilience, and ultimately, how to design a life that's truly yours. Remember, unlocking your mind isn't about perfection. It's about progress, awareness, and action. The first key is awareness, the next key, action, and that's what we're diving into next. Chapter 2. Stories we tell ourselves. Have you ever noticed how life seems to happen a certain way, almost automatically? You wake up, follow your routine, face the day, and at the end, wonder why things haven't changed. Here's the truth. Life isn't just happening to you. Life is happening through you, shaped by the stories your mind tells. These stories, your beliefs, assumptions, and mental narratives, are the invisible threads weaving the fabric of your reality. Some lift you up, some hold you down, most operate quietly without you even realizing it. 2.1. The invisible scripts. From the moment we are born, we start collecting scripts about who we are, what we are capable of, what the world expects of us, what's safe and what's dangerous. By age 10, many of us already have a library of beliefs like, "I'm not good enough. Success is for other people, not me. I always fail. I can't ask for help." These stories feel real because they are real to your mind, and when your mind believes them, it acts on them. Think about it. If you truly believed, "I'm capable of achieving anything I set my mind to," would you hesitate to try new things? Would fear hold you back? Probably not. The problem isn't your dreams. The problem is the story you've been telling yourself. 2.2. How stories shape reality. Here's a key principle of mindset. What you believe is what you perceive, and perception shapes action. Imagine two people. Person A believes, "I'm not good at public speaking." Person B believes, "I can improve and grow as a speaker." Both are asked to give a presentation. Person A avoids it, feels anxious, and may even sabotage their own performance. Person B feels nervous but prepares, practices, and grows through the experience. The story they tell themselves literally changes how they act and how life unfolds for them. Stories are like software running in the background of your mind. Some software is outdated, buggy, and holding you back. Some is powerful, adaptive, and life-enhancing. The good news, you can update your software. 2.3. Identifying your stories. Before you can rewrite your stories, you have to know what they are. Start by asking yourself, what do I tell myself about who I am? What do I believe about what I can achieve? Where do I feel stuck or limited, and why? Look for repeated patterns in your thoughts. Do you often think, I can't do this? Do you compare yourself to others and feel less than? Do you avoid opportunities out of fear of failure? These patterns are clues to the stories you're running on autopilot. Awareness is the first step to change. 2.4. The origin of limiting stories. Most limiting stories come from outside influences. Parents and family, messages we received as children can stick with us forever. Don't dream too big, be realistic, or you're not like your brother/sister become deeply embedded. School and society, grades, peer pressure, and social expectations reinforce what we can and cannot do. Past failures, every failure can become a permanent story if you let it. One mistake can be retold endlessly in your mind as proof that you can't. The key here is that stories aren't facts. They are perceptions, interpretations, and beliefs shaped by experience, and because they're not facts, they can be changed. 2.5. Rewriting your narrative. Rewriting your story is like editing a book. You are the author. Here, how to start. 1. Notice the story. Become aware of the thoughts that hold you back. 2. Challenge the story. Ask yourself, is this true, or is it just a belief I've carried for years? 3. Rewrite the story. Replace I can't with I'm learning, or I'm not ready with I will grow into this. 4. Repeat daily. Stories are like muscles. They strengthen with repetition. For example, if you've believed, I'm not creative, your new story could be, I have unique ideas that are worth sharing. Creativity is a skill I can practice and grow. Every small creative act builds my confidence. 2.6. Stories as allies. Not all stories are bad, some are your allies. I am resilient helps you recover from setbacks. I can learn from mistakes motivates growth. I deserve good things encourages self-care and confidence. The goal isn't to eliminate all stories, it's to curate the ones that serve you and rewrite the ones that don't. Think of it as gardening. Pull out the weeds, plant the seeds, and nurture what grows. 2.7. Practical exercise. Catch and rewrite. Here's a simple, audio-friendly exercise. 1. Listen to your thoughts. For one day, notice every I can't or I'm not thought. 2. Write it down. Keep a journal or voice note. 3. Challenge it. Ask, is this 100% true? 4. Rewrite it. Turn it into a growth-oriented story. 5. Repeat daily. Small, consistent practice rewires the mind. Even 5 minutes a day of conscious story rewriting can shift how you feel, act, and perceive the world. 2.8. Stories shape action. Here's the most important point. Stories aren't just thoughts, they drive action. If your story says, I'm not capable, you avoid challenges. If your story says, I can learn, you take risks and grow. If your story says, I'm worthy, you pursue opportunities with confidence. The story you tell yourself every day becomes the life you live every day. 2.9. Your assignment. For the next week. 1. Listen to your stories without judgment. 2. Identify one story that consistently limits you. 3. Write a new story to replace it. 4. Act on that new story in one small, concrete way. This is where transformation begins, awareness, rewriting, and action, one story at a time. 2.1 The Big Idea. Your mind is like a stage. The stories you tell yourself are the scripts, and the life you imagine, it's the play that's waiting to be performed. By identifying, questioning, and rewriting your stories, you start living consciously instead of reacting unconsciously. You start directing your life instead of letting old patterns direct you. In the next chapter, we'll explore the comfort zone trap, why staying safe keeps you small, and how stepping outside is the ultimate act of courage. Chapter 3: The Comfort Zone Trap. Take a moment and think about your daily routine. The places you go, the tasks you perform, the habits you follow, how much of it feels comfortable, safe, predictable. Now ask yourself, is this comfort helping you grow, or is it quietly keeping you small? Welcome to the comfort zone trap, a subtle, invisible force that keeps people safe, yes, but often at the cost of their dreams. 3.1 What the comfort zone really is. The comfort zone is more than a cozy chair, a routine, or a safe job. It's a mental and emotional state where risk feels scary, change feels threatening, failure feels unacceptable. It's a place where the mind tells you, you're fine here, don't push. And while it feels safe, it also limits what's possible. The problem is that comfort becomes addictive. The brain prefers predictability over challenge, even if predictability means sacrificing growth, purpose, or fulfillment. 3.2 How we end up there. Most people don't actively choose comfort, they drift into it. Repeated habits form routines. Fear of failure reinforces inaction. Society rewards safety and compliance over experimentation. Past disappointments make risk feel dangerous. Before long, you're living life according to rules you didn't consciously choose. You're operating in a zone that feels familiar but doesn't stretch you. 3.3 The Hidden Cost of Comfort. Comfort isn't just harmless, it quietly robs you of potential, skills, and talents left undeveloped. Opportunity, doors never opened, risks never taken. Resilience, without challenge, the mind and body never strengthen. Fulfillment, the life you imagine stays just out of reach. Imagine a bird in a cage with soft cushions and abundant food. It's safe, but it was made to fly. Comfort can cage you in the same way. 3.4 Why we resist change. Change is uncomfortable. Growth is uncomfortable. That's why we resist. The mind interprets discomfort as danger. A new job, a difficult conversation, a creative pursuit, these feel threatening at first. So the brain whispers, better stay where you are. You'll fail if you try. It's safer to wait. These messages feel protective, but they're often the very walls of your invisible prison. 3.5 Signs you're stuck in your comfort zone. You say maybe later more than yes. You avoid new challenges unless forced. You feel restless or unfulfilled despite stability. You make excuses for why you can't pursue your dreams. If any of these sound familiar, it's not laziness or weakness. It's your comfort zone speaking, and it's time to listen and then act differently. 3.6 How to step out without fear. Stepping out doesn't mean giant leaps or reckless action. It starts with small, intentional steps. 1. Identify a challenge you've been avoiding. 2. Break it into tiny, manageable actions. 3. Focus on progress, not perfection. 4. Celebrate small wins. For example, if public speaking terrifies you. Step 1. Speak in front of a mirror. Step 2. Record yourself speaking for 2 minutes. Step 3. Speak in front of a trusted friend. Step 4. Volunteer for a small group presentation. Each step is uncomfortable but manageable. Each step weakens the comfort zone and strengthens courage. 3.7 Reframing discomfort. Discomfort isn't your enemy. It's a sign that growth is happening. Muscle soreness after a workout signals strength building. Nervousness before a presentation signals skill development. Fear before pursuing a dream signals a breakthrough is near. When you reframe discomfort as a signal, not a warning, it becomes a compass pointing toward growth. 3.8 Daily practices to escape the trap. 1 Micro challenges. Do one small thing each day that slightly stretches you. 2 Reflection journaling. Ask, where did I stay too comfortable today? 3 Gratitude for courage. Acknowledge each time you acted outside comfort. 4 Visualization. Imagine yourself succeeding in challenging situations. These practices slowly expand your comfort zone. Over time, what once felt impossible feels manageable. 3.9 The mindset of unlocked living. When you step beyond comfort regularly, you develop confidence, proof that you can handle uncertainty. Resilience, ability to recover from setbacks quickly. Momentum, action breeds action, growth becomes habitual. Possibility thinking, you start believing life can be bigger than you imagined. The comfort zone trap isn't removed overnight, but awareness plus action slowly dismantles it. 3.1 Your assignment. This week, 1 Identify one area where you've stayed too comfortable. 2 Take one small, uncomfortable action in that area. 3 Reflect on how it felt and what you learned. 4 Repeat, building momentum each day. Remember, growth is gradual, consistent, and courageous. Every tiny step outside comfort is a victory. 3.11 The big idea. The comfort zone isn't your enemy, it's your signal, it's your mind telling you, I want safety. And growth is your opportunity to say, I want more. When you combine awareness of your invisible barriers, Chapter 1, with the stories you tell yourself, Chapter 2, and the courage to step out of comfort, you start building the unlocked mind. Next, we'll dive into Chapter 4, Fear, Doubt, and Delay, the 3 silent thieves of progress. This chapter will teach you how to recognize these thieves and neutralize them before they steal your dreams. Chapter 4, Fear, Doubt, and Delay, the 3 silent thieves of progress. Imagine this. You have a dream, a goal, or a vision of a life you deeply desire. You know it's possible. You feel it calling you. And yet, you don't move. What's stopping you isn't lack of talent, resources, or intelligence. It's 3 silent thieves quietly stealing your momentum: fear, doubt, and delay. 4.1 Thief 1. Fear. Fear is the oldest thief of all. It disguises itself in many ways. What if I fail? What if people laugh at me? What if I lose security? Fear isn't inherently bad. It's a survival mechanism. It's meant to protect you, but when fear becomes constant, it paralyzes action. Fear whispers, you can't handle it, stay small, stay safe. And if you listen, progress grinds to a halt. How to recognize fear. Your heart races when thinking about a challenge. You avoid decisions because they feel risky. You make excuses for why now is not the right time. The key is awareness. Recognize fear as a signal, not a stop sign. It's your mind saying, this is important, pay attention, proceed wisely. 4.2 Thief 2. Doubt. Doubt is the second thief, and it's often more subtle. While fear screams, doubt whispers, I'm not ready. I'll never succeed like them. Maybe this isn't for me. Doubt creates hesitation. It makes you question every choice, every action, every step forward. Left unchecked, doubt erodes confidence, sometimes faster than fear ever could. How to neutralize doubt. List past wins. Remind yourself of times you succeeded. Reframe failure. See mistakes as feedback, not proof of incapacity. Take micro-actions. Every small win weakens doubt's power. Doubt loses its grip when confronted with evidence and action. 4.3 Thief 3. Delay. The third thief is deceptively simple: delay. We think we'll act tomorrow, next week, or when we're ready. But tomorrow is a mirage, and readiness rarely comes on its own. Delay drains energy, erodes confidence, and steals opportunity. How to overcome delay? Break tasks into micro-actions. Use deadlines, internal or external, to create urgency. Commit publicly. Tell someone your plan to increase accountability. Delay disappears when momentum replaces procrastination. The best way to beat delay is to start, even imperfectly. 4.4. How these thieves work together. Fear, doubt, and delay are allies. Fear scares you, doubt confuses you, delay keeps you waiting. Together, they freeze action, allowing life to pass by. The problem isn't that they exist, it's that we don't recognize them. Awareness is your first weapon, action is your second. 4.5. The mindset shift. To defeat these thieves, you need a new mindset. Fear is a guide, not a barrier. Doubt is data, not a verdict. Delay is a choice, not destiny. When you adopt this perspective, the thieves lose their power. They are no longer invisible saboteurs, they are signals pointing you toward growth. 4.6. Practical exercise. Face the thieves. 1. Identify your fear. Write down the fear holding you back. 2. Question your doubt. List evidence that contradicts your limiting thoughts. 3. Act against delay. Take one small step immediately toward your goal. 4. Reflect daily. Track what happened when you faced these thieves. Consistency is key. Repeated action teaches your mind progress is possible despite fear, doubt, and delay. 4.7. Real-life example. Imagine a person who dreams of starting their own business. Fear says, you'll fail and lose money. Doubt says, you're not smart enough to succeed. Delay says, start next month when things feel safer. If they listen, nothing happens. But if they act differently, they acknowledge the fear and plan for challenges. They counter doubt with research and skill building. They take one concrete step today, writing a business plan or reaching out to a mentor. Step by step, the thieves lose power, momentum builds, confidence grows, action becomes habitual. 4.8. Anchoring progress. Remember this principle: motion defeats thieves. Even small action is more powerful than hours of planning or worrying. Fear, doubt, and delay thrive in stillness. Action starves them. Momentum anchors your confidence, creating a virtuous cycle. Step forward, right arrow, feel progress, right arrow, reduce, fear, doubt, right arrow, take next step. 4.9. Your assignment. This week. 1. Identify one goal you've been avoiding. 2. Write down the fear, doubt, and delay associated with it. 3. Take one small, actionable step immediately. 4. Celebrate the action, no matter how small. Repeat daily. The thieves retreat when faced consistently with courage and action. 4.1. The big idea. Fear, doubt, and delay are inevitable, but they are not undefeatable. By recognizing them, reframing them, and acting anyway, you reclaim your momentum. Progress doesn't require perfect conditions. It requires conscious awareness and small, consistent action. When you combine this with awareness of your invisible prison, the stories you tell yourself, and your comfort zone, chapters 1-3, you are building the foundation of an unlocked mind. Next, we'll explore chapter 5, Awareness is Power, Seeing Yourself Clearly, which is where the real transformation begins. Chapter 5, Awareness is Power, Seeing Yourself Clearly. Imagine trying to navigate a city you've never been to without a map. You might make progress, but you'll get lost, take wrong turns, or circle the same blocks repeatedly. Your life works the same way. If you're unclear about who you are, what drives you, and what's holding you back, progress is slow, frustrating, and uncertain. This is why awareness is power. Awareness is your internal map, showing you where you are, what's blocking you, and the path forward. Without it, even the best advice, strategies, or plans can fail. 5.1. What awareness really means. Awareness isn't just noticing your thoughts or emotions, it's seeing your habits, your patterns of thought, your reactions to challenges, your strengths and weaknesses, the stories you tell yourself. It's an honest, non-judgmental understanding of yourself, and the more aware you become, the more control you have over the life you're building. 5.2. The 3 levels of self-awareness. 1. Internal awareness, understanding your thoughts, emotions, desires, and fears. 2. Behavioral awareness, observing how you act, react, and interact with others. 3. Situational awareness, seeing the patterns in your life, the circumstances that shape your actions, and the external influences you might unconsciously follow. Mastering these 3 levels gives you a clear picture of your starting point. Transformation begins here. 5.3. Why most people avoid awareness. Awareness can feel uncomfortable. Why? Because seeing yourself clearly sometimes means confronting limiting beliefs, past mistakes, habits that no longer serve you, fears you've ignored. It's tempting to stay in ignorance because it feels safer, but avoiding awareness is like driving with your eyes closed. You might be moving, but you're not in control. 5.4. Benefits of self-awareness. When you embrace awareness, several powerful things happen. Clarity, you understand why you do what you do. Empowerment, you can choose your responses instead of reacting automatically. Focus, you prioritize actions that align with your goals. Growth, you identify exactly what needs to change and how to improve. Awareness is the first key to unlocking your mind, because you can't change what you don't see. 5.5. Practical exercises to build awareness. Exercise 1. Daily reflection. Spend 5-10 minutes each evening reflecting on your day. Ask, what thoughts or actions helped me grow today? Ask, what held me back or limited me? Write down your answers. Exercise 2. Emotional check-in. Pause several times a day and notice your feelings. Ask, what am I feeling right now? Why? Understanding emotions gives insight into deeper patterns. Exercise 3. Behavioral tracking. Pick one habit or behavior you want to examine. Track when and why it happens for 1 week. Look for triggers, patterns, and opportunities to adjust. 5.6. Awareness as a foundation. Think of awareness like the foundation of a building. Without it, everything else is unstable. Your goals will be unclear. Your decisions will feel random. Your efforts may not produce results. With awareness, every action is intentional, every choice aligned with your vision, and every day a building block toward the life you imagine. 5.7. Awareness and mindset. Awareness also fuels mindset transformation. When you see yourself clearly, you spot mental barriers before they stop you. You recognize fear and doubt as temporary signals, not truths. You notice patterns of comfort and inaction, allowing you to step out. In short, awareness gives you the power to intervene in your own life rather than being a passenger. 5.8. Awareness in action. Imagine you notice that every time a challenging opportunity arises, you hesitate. With awareness, you can ask, why do I hesitate? What fear or story is behind this? What small action can I take to move forward anyway? You now have a choice. Without awareness, hesitation continues unconsciously. With awareness, you reclaim control. 5.9. Your assignment. This week, 1. Set aside 10 minutes each day to reflect on your thoughts, feelings, and actions. 2. Choose one recurring pattern, habit, thought, or behavior that limits you. 3. Observe it without judgment. Ask, what is this showing me about myself? 4. Take one small conscious action to address it. Consistency in awareness creates momentum for transformation. 5.1. The big idea. Awareness is not passive observation. It is active power. The more clearly you see yourself, the more effectively you can change, grow, and unlock your potential. By combining awareness with the principles we've covered, recognizing mental barriers, rewriting limiting stories, stepping out of comfort, and confronting fear, doubt, and delay, you are building a mindset capable of transformation. Next, we'll dive into Chapter 6, The Language of the Mind, Reframing Thoughts That Hold You Back, which will give you actionable tools to turn negative self-talk into fuel for growth. Chapter 6, The Language of the Mind, Reframing Thoughts That Hold You Back. Have you ever noticed the voice in your head? That constant chatter running on repeat, telling you what you can or can't do, who you are, or what you deserve. That voice is the language of your mind, and it's one of the most powerful forces in your life. It shapes your beliefs, decisions, and ultimately the reality you create. Here's the good news: you can change that voice. You can rewrite the messages your mind sends you so that they empower rather than limit. 6.1. How thoughts shape reality. Every thought carries energy. Thoughts influence emotions, which influence actions, which shape results. For example, thought "I'm not good enough," right arrow emotion; discouragement, right arrow action; avoid challenge, right arrow result, missed opportunity. Thought "I can learn and improve," emotion; curiosity, right arrow action; take a small step, right arrow result, growth and confidence. Changing the language of your mind changes your inner state, which changes your outer results. 6.2. Identifying limiting thoughts. Limiting thoughts are automatic, often unnoticed, and deceptively convincing. Some examples: "I'll never succeed." "I don't have time." "I'm not talented enough." "Other people are better than me." The trick is that your mind believes these thoughts are true. They feel factual, but they are just stories you've accepted as truth. 6.3. The power of reframing. Reframing is the process of changing the meaning of a thought to create a more empowering perspective. Limiting: "I failed at this, so I'm not capable." Reframed: "This attempt taught me what doesn't work, bringing me closer to what will." Limiting: "I'm too late to start." Reframed: "I'm starting now, which means I'm already ahead of those who haven't begun." Reframing doesn't ignore reality. It interprets reality in a way that strengthens you. 6.4. Common cognitive traps. Your mind often uses patterns that amplify fear and doubt. 1. All or nothing thinking, seeing situations as black or white. Example: "I failed once, so I'm a failure." Reframe: failure is one step in learning. 2. Catastrophizing, expecting the worst outcome. Example: "If I try, I'll embarrass myself." Reframe: trying builds experience and courage. 3. Personalization, taking things personally that aren't entirely your fault. Example: "They didn't like my idea, so I'm incompetent." Reframe: feedback is about improvement, not identity. 4. Overgeneralization, believing one event defines everything. Example: "I failed today, so I'll always fail." Reframe: one experience does not define the future. Recognizing these patterns is the first step to rewiring your inner dialogue. 6.5. Practical exercises for reframing. Exercise 1. Thought audit. Write down recurring negative thoughts. Identify patterns and triggers. Ask: is this fact or story? Exercise 2. Reframe and repeat. For each limiting thought, create a positive reframe. Speak it aloud or write it down daily. Reinforce the new message consistently. Exercise 3. Mindful interruption. Notice when negative self-talk arises. Pause and mentally interrupt the thought. Replace it with your reframed statement. 6.6. Words shape emotion. Your brain doesn't differentiate between a spoken word, a thought, or a mental image. The language you use internally creates emotion, and emotion drives behavior. Saying "I'm capable" instills confidence. Saying "I can handle this" reduces fear. Saying "I will learn from this" fosters resilience. The more consistently you use empowering language, the more it reshapes your neural pathways and patterns of thought. 6.7 Language as a daily practice. Think of your mind as a garden. Words are the seeds. Negative, limiting words equals weeds that strangle growth. Positive, empowering words equals seeds that bloom into new possibilities. Daily practice: spend 5 minutes speaking or journaling empowering statements. Examples: I grow stronger with every challenge I face. I am capable of learning and improving. Every step I take brings me closer to my vision. Consistency creates habitual empowerment, making the mind a tool rather than a barrier. 6.8 Real-life example. Consider someone who dreams of starting a creative business. Limiting language: I'll never be good enough to compete. Reframed language: I have unique ideas that can find an audience, and I will learn as I grow. This shift changes. Emotion: right arrow from fear to excitement. Action: right arrow from hesitation to small consistent steps. Result: right arrow progress toward building the business. Language changes perception. Perception changes behavior. Behavior changes reality. 6.9 Your assignment. 1. Identify 3 recurring limiting thoughts you notice daily. 2. Write a positive reframe for each. 3. Speak or write your new statements at least twice a day. 4. Track the effect on your actions and confidence over 1 week. Small daily adjustments compound into significant mindset shifts. 6.1 The big idea. Your thoughts are not facts, they are tools. By reframing limiting thoughts, you transform fear into courage, doubt into confidence, and hesitation into action. Combine this skill with awareness, Chapter 5, confronting fear, doubt, and delay, Chapter 4, stepping out of comfort, Chapter 3, and rewriting your stories, Chapter 2, and you create the foundation of an unlocked mind ready for transformation. Next, we'll explore Chapter 7, Habits of Unlockers, daily practices that build momentum, where we translate mindset shifts into consistent, life-changing action. Chapter 7, Habits of Unlockers, daily practices that build momentum. Momentum is like a silent force. Once it starts moving, it carries you forward almost effortlessly, but without it, even small steps feel heavy, tiring, and discouraging. What creates momentum? Habits. Habits are the invisible architecture of your life. They are the small actions you repeat daily that, over time, shape who you are and what you achieve. Unlockers, the people who break free from mental barriers and live fully, understand this truth. Big change comes from small, consistent practices. 7.1 Why habits matter more than motivation. Motivation is powerful but unreliable. Some days you wake up ready to conquer the world. Other days, you feel like staying in bed. If you depend on motivation alone, progress will be inconsistent. Habits, on the other hand, don't rely on feelings. Once built, they run almost automatically, carrying you forward whether you feel like it or not. Unlockers focus less on temporary bursts of motivation and more on sustainable daily routines that build unstoppable momentum. 7.2 The Science of Small Steps. Here's a principle worth remembering. Small daily actions, multiplied by time, create extraordinary results. You don't need to overhaul your life overnight. You need to commit to 1 or 2 powerful habits and practice them consistently. Over time, they compound, just like interest in a savings account. 7.3 Keystone Habits of Unlockers. Unlockers don't try to do everything at once. They build a few keystone habits, practices that create ripple effects in every area of life. Here are 5 powerful keystone habits. 1. Morning clarity ritual. Spend 5-10 minutes each morning setting your intention for the day. Ask, what's the single most important step I can take today toward my vision? 2. Daily movement. Exercise or move your body every day, even if just for 10 minutes. Movement fuels energy, clears the mind, and builds resilience. 3. Reflection and gratitude. In the evening, reflect on what went well and what you're grateful for. Gratitude rewires the brain to focus on progress instead of lack. 4. Focused work blocks. Dedicate at least one uninterrupted block of time to your most important task. Even 30 minutes of focused work daily builds massive momentum. 5. Continuous learning. Read, listen, or practice something new each day. Growth-oriented habits keep your mind sharp and adaptable. 7.4 Habit formation. How to make them stick. The secret to building habits is to make them. Small start so easy you can't fail. Example, 5 push-ups instead of 50. Consistent, do them daily at the same time or place. Obvious, use cues, like a sticky note, alarm, or placing your journal on your pillow. Rewarding, celebrate small wins so your brain craves the behavior. Habits don't need to be dramatic, they just need to be consistent. 7.5 Breaking old habits. Unlockers also learn to identify and break disempowering habits like procrastination, negative self-talk, scrolling endlessly on social media, staying up late without reason. Breaking habits isn't about punishment, it's about replacing them with better ones. Example, replace evening scrolling with 10 minutes of reflection or journaling. Replace procrastination with a 5-minute, just start rule. 7.6 The power of stacking habits. Habit stacking means attaching a new habit to an existing one. After brushing your teeth, write one sentence of gratitude. After making your morning coffee, review your daily goal. After lunch, write arrow, take a 5-minute walk. Linking new habits to old ones makes them stick naturally. 7.7 Real-life example. Consider someone who feels stuck in their career. They decide to build just 2 habits. Morning clarity ritual. Spend 10 minutes each morning planning one growth action. Focused work block. Dedicate 30 minutes daily to learning new skills. Within months, these small practices build momentum. Opportunities appear, confidence grows. They're no longer waiting for a breakthrough, they're creating one. 7.8 Your assignment. This week. 1. Choose one keystone habit to start. 2. Break it down into the smallest possible version. 3. Commit to doing it daily for 1 week. 4. At the end of the week, reflect. How did this habit influence your mindset and actions? Once you've built one habit, add another. Progress compounds. 7.9 The big idea. Habits are the engine of an unlocked mind. They turn awareness, reframed thoughts, and courage into consistent action. Unlockers don't wait for inspiration. They build routines that keep them moving forward, even when motivation fades. Next, we'll move to Chapter 8, Emotional Fitness, Training Your Feelings Like Muscles, where we learn how to master emotions instead of being mastered by them. Chapter 8, Emotional Fitness, Training Your Feelings Like Muscles. If your mindset is the engine, your emotions are the fuel. The right fuel keeps you moving smoothly. The wrong fuel stalls your progress, no matter how strong the engine is. Most people let their emotions control them. They react to every disappointment, every criticism, every fear. Unlockers, on the other hand, train their emotions like muscles. They don't ignore feelings, they strengthen them, manage them, and use them to drive forward. This is emotional fitness, the ability to understand, regulate, and channel your emotions to support your goals. 8.1 why emotional fitness matters. Think about this: two people face the same challenge. One gets overwhelmed, panics, and quits. The other feels the stress but breathes, focuses, and adapts. The difference: emotional fitness. It's not about avoiding negative emotions, it's about handling them wisely. It's not about staying happy all the time, it's about staying balanced and resilient. It's not about suppressing emotions, it's about directing them toward growth. 8.2 Emotions as signals. Emotions are like dashboard lights in your car. They're signals, not instructions. Fear equals pay attention, something feels risky. Anger equals a boundary is being crossed. Sadness equals you've lost something important. Excitement equals you're aligned with something meaningful. When you treat emotions as signals, you gain power. Instead of reacting automatically, you pause, interpret, and choose your response. 8.3 The 4 Pillars of Emotional Fitness. 1. Awareness, recognizing what you feel in the moment. 2. Acceptance, allowing emotions to exist without judgment. 3. Regulation, calming or redirecting emotions when they get too strong. 4. Channeling, using emotions as energy to fuel positive action. Think of it like weight training. The more you practice, the stronger you become. 8.4 Tools for training emotional fitness. Tool 1. The pause button. When emotions rise, pause for 5 deep breaths. This interrupts automatic reactions and gives your rational brain time to catch up. Tool 2. Label the feeling. Say to yourself, I feel anxious, or I feel frustrated. Naming the emotion reduces its intensity. Tool 3. Reframe the meaning. Ask, what is this emotion trying to teach me? For example, instead of I'm nervous, reframe it as I'm excited about this challenge. Tool 4. Physical release. Exercise, walking, or even stretching helps release emotional tension stored in the body. Tool 5. Gratitude reset. Shift focus by listing 3 things you're grateful for. Gratitude lowers stress and rebalances perspective. 8.5 Emotional fitness in action. Imagine you're giving a presentation at work. Without emotional fitness, your heart races, panic sets in, and you forget your words. With emotional fitness, you notice the fear, pause, breathe deeply, and reframe. This nervous energy means I care. It's fuel to focus. You deliver with steady confidence. The situation is the same, but your response changes everything. 8.6 Building emotional resilience. Resilience is the ability to recover quickly from setbacks. It's the bounce-back muscle. Ways to strengthen resilience. Expect setbacks, see them as part of growth, not proof of failure. Practice recovery rituals, journaling, meditation, or a walk in nature. Maintain perspective, ask, will this matter a year from now? Resilience doesn't mean you never feel pain. It means you recover faster and keep moving forward. 8.7 Emotional fitness and relationships. Unlockers also use emotional fitness in relationships. Instead of reacting in anger, they pause, breathe, and listen. Express feelings clearly instead of lashing out. Resolve conflicts with empathy instead of blame. Strong emotional fitness creates stronger connections with others and with yourself. 8.8 Your assignment. This week, 1. Track your emotions. At least 3 times a day, pause and ask, what am I feeling right now? 2. Label and reframe. Choose 1 strong emotion each day and reframe it into a helpful perspective. 3. Practice 1 regulation tool. Try deep breathing, gratitude, or physical release when emotions run high. 4. Reflect. At the end of the week, note how emotional awareness changed your reactions. 8.9 The big idea. Emotions are not enemies, they're signals. When you train them like muscles, you gain balance, resilience, and energy. Instead of being trapped by feelings, you use them to fuel your growth. By combining emotional fitness with the awareness, Chapter 5, reframing thoughts, Chapter 6, and powerful daily habits, Chapter 7, you become unstoppable. Next, we'll move into Chapter 9, the courage switch, how to act when fear doesn't go away, where we learn how to take bold steps even when fear is still present. Chapter 9, the courage switch, how to act when fear doesn't go away. Let's be honest, fear never fully disappears. You can build awareness, reframe your thoughts, and even train your emotions, but when you step into something new, fear often shows up at the door. The secret isn't to wait until fear is gone. The secret is to learn how to act with fear still present. That's what I call flipping the courage switch. 9.1. The myth of fearlessness. We often admire people we think are fearless, entrepreneurs, athletes, leaders, creators. But the truth is, they feel fear just like everyone else. The difference, they don't wait for fear to leave before taking action. They act anyway. Fearless isn't real, courage is. 9.2. What courage really means. Courage isn't the absence of fear, it's movement in the presence of fear. Think of it this way. Fear says, don't go forward, it's risky. Courage replies, I hear you, but I'm stepping forward anyway. Courage is a decision, a choice, a mental switch you flip when the stakes are high and the path feels uncertain. 9.3. The physiology of fear. When fear rises, your body reacts. Your heart races, palms sweat, stomach tightens. That's your body's fight-or-flight system. Most people interpret these signals as danger, but what if you reframe them? Racing heart equals your body preparing for performance. Sweaty palms equals your body increasing focus. Tight stomach equals energy building inside you. By seeing fear as fuel, you shift from paralysis to readiness. 9.4. Flipping the courage switch. Here's a simple process for turning fear into action. 1. Name it, say, I feel fear right now. Naming removes some of its power. 2. Reframe it. Ask, what is this fear showing me about what I value? 3. Shrink it. Break the challenge into the smallest possible step. 4. Act anyway. Take that step, even while afraid. The moment you act, fear loses its grip. 9.5. Everyday courage. Courage doesn't always look dramatic. Sometimes it's subtle. Speaking up in a meeting. Asking for help. Saying no to something that doesn't serve you. Sharing your dream with someone for the first time. Each act of courage strengthens your mental muscle, making the next step easier. 9.6. Real-life example. Picture a young woman dreaming of starting her own podcast. Fear says, no one will listen, you'll embarrass yourself. If she waits for the fear to disappear, she'll never begin. But she flips the courage switch. Names the fear, I'm afraid of being judged. Reframes it, I care deeply about sharing my voice. Shrinks it, records one 5-minute test episode. Acts anyway, publishes it. Fear doesn't vanish, but action creates momentum and confidence follows. 9.7. Courage as a habit. The more often you act in the presence of fear, the stronger your courage becomes. Over time, courage becomes a habit, not just a reaction. Think of it like weightlifting. The first time feels impossible, but repetition builds strength until the weight that once felt crushing becomes manageable. 9.8. Your assignment. This week, 1. Identify one area where fear is holding you back. 2. Write down exactly what the fear says. 3. Reframe it into what it reveals you value. 4. Break the action into a tiny first step. 5. Do that step today, before fear has time to argue. Repeat this process daily. The more you practice, the easier it becomes to flip the switch. 9.9. The big ideas. Fear doesn't vanish. It's a signal, not a stop sign. When you flip the courage switch, you act with fear instead of against it, and discover that courage grows with every step forward. With this skill, you're ready to direct your energy more effectively. That's what we'll cover in the next chapter. Chapter 10, Focus and Flow, Directing Energy to What Matters Most. Chapter 10, Focus and Flow, Directing Energy to What Matters Most. Your energy is your most valuable currency. Not time, not money, energy. Think about it, you can have all the hours in the world, but if your energy is scattered, pulled in too many directions, you achieve little. But when you direct your energy with laser focus, even 1 hour of effort can feel powerful and productive. This chapter is about mastering focus and unlocking the magical state of flow, where your energy and attention move in one smooth stream toward what matters most. 10.1 Why Focus Matters. Your brain has limited attention. Every distraction steals a little of it. Notifications pull you away. Worry consumes your thoughts. Multitasking splits your power in half. When you try to do everything, you dilute your strength. True success comes when you concentrate energy like a magnifying glass, burning bright on one spot until results appear. 10.2 The Myth of Multitasking. You've heard it, I'm good at multitasking. Here's the truth, multitasking doesn't exist. Your brain just switches rapidly between tasks. Each switch costs energy, focus, and depth. What feels like productivity is actually mental scattering. Unlockers don't multitask, they single task with intention. 10.3 The State of Flow. Flow is the sweet spot where effort feels effortless. Time disappears, creativity flows, you're fully immersed. You've probably felt it before. Writing and suddenly hours pass. Playing music and losing yourself in the rhythm. Working on a project and forgetting your phone even exists. Flow is where your best work and deepest satisfaction live. 10.4 How to Enter Flow. There are conditions for flow. Create these and you step into the zone more often. 1. Clarity of purpose. Know exactly what you want to achieve. 2. A meaningful challenge. The task should stretch you but not overwhelm you. 3. Minimize distractions. Turn off pings, alerts, and interruptions. 4. Deep immersion. Give yourself blocks of uninterrupted time. 5. Immediate feedback. Notice progress as you go. It keeps energy alive. 10.5 The Energy Funnel. Imagine your energy as water flowing into a funnel. At the wide top are all your thoughts, tasks, and worries, but at the narrow spout, only the essentials get through. Your job, constantly filter out the noise until only the most important goals receive your energy. Ask yourself daily, what deserves my energy right now? What distractions can I cut? Where will my focus matter most? 10.6 Practical Focus Tools. The 90-minute rule. Work in focused 90-minute blocks, then rest. The one thing question. What is the one thing I can do today that makes everything else easier or unnecessary? Digital declutter. Silence notifications, close tabs, or use apps that block distractions. Environment design. Create a space that signals focus. Clean desk, inspiring playlist, comfortable chair. 10.7 When focus fades. Even with the best systems, your mind will wander. That's normal. Instead of judging yourself, practice gentle refocusing. Notice the drift. Take a deep breath. Bring attention back to the task. Every return strengthens your focus muscle. 10.8 Your assignment. This week. 1. Choose one meaningful project or goal. 2. Create 2 90-minute focus sessions for it in your calendar. 3. Eliminate distractions during those sessions. 4. Reflect on how your energy felt. Did you sense flow beginning? Repeat until focus becomes a habit and flow visits you more often. 10.9 The Big Idea. Energy flows where attention goes. Scatter your focus and energy leaks away. Direct your focus and you unlock flow, the the state where your best work and deepest joy meet. With focus and flow as tools, you're now ready for the next breakthrough. Chapter 11, Building Grit, the Power of Consistency Over Time. Chapter 11, Building Grit, the Power of Consistency Over Time. Talent can open doors, inspiration can spark action, but only one thing sustains progress long enough to unlock transformation: grit. Grit is the ability to keep showing up day after day, especially when it's not exciting, convenient, or easy. It's consistency multiplied by resilience. It's discipline fueled by purpose. 11.1 Why Grit Matters. Many people start strong but fade quickly. They get excited about a new idea, a new routine, a new goal, only to quit when the initial energy fades. But the unlocker knows success doesn't come from bursts of effort. It comes from steady, repeated action. Little by little, a little becomes a lot. 11.2 Passion plus Perseverance. Psychologist Angela Duckworth defines grit as passion plus perseverance. Passion keeps the vision alive. Perseverance keeps the feet moving when the road gets hard. Without passion, perseverance feels like punishment. Without perseverance, passion is just a spark that burns out. Together, they fuel greatness. 11.3 The Boring Middle. Every meaningful journey has a phase where progress feels slow, motivation dips, results don't show yet. This is the boring middle, the valley where most people quit. Unlockers don't. They push through the middle with grit, knowing that consistency compounds. 11.4 Habits of the Gritful. 1. They show up regardless of mood. Feelings don't dictate their commitment. 2. They track progress. Small wins keep motivation alive. 3. They embrace delayed gratification. They're willing to invest today for tomorrow's reward. 4. They recover well. Rest is part of grit, not a break from it. 11.5 Micro-consistency. Grit doesn't always mean massive effort. Sometimes it's about tiny, repeated actions that build momentum. Writing 1 page a day. Saving a small amount weekly. Doing 10 minutes of exercise daily. These micro-consistencies accumulate into massive results. 11.6 Real-life example. Imagine a man training for a marathon. At first, excitement fuels him, then comes sore muscles, busy days, and doubt. This is where most quit. But he keeps running, shorter runs when tired, longer ones when energy allows. Over months, his body adapts. Race day arrives. He finishes, not because he was the fastest, but because he was the most consistent. That's grit. 11.7 How to Grow Grit. Connect to your why. Remind yourself why this goal matters. Set process goals. Focus on daily actions, not just the big outcome. Celebrate consistency. Reward showing up, not just big wins. Surround yourself with grit. Community inspires persistence. 11.8 Your assignment. This week. 1. Identify one area where you tend to quit early. 2. Define a tiny daily action you can commit to. 3. Track it for 7 days straight. 4. Reflect. How does consistency shift your mindset? 11.9 The Big Ideas. Grit is what carries you when passion feels weak and obstacles feel heavy. Consistency beats intensity. Step by step, you prove to yourself that you are unstoppable. With grit built into your mindset, you're ready for the next challenge. Chapter 12 Adaptability, Thriving Through Change. Chapter 12 Adaptability, Thriving Through Change. Life guarantees one thing: change. Jobs shift, relationships evolve, technology advances, plans fall apart. Most people resist change. They cling to what's familiar, even if it no longer serves them. Unlockers, however, master adaptability. They see change not as a threat, but as an opportunity. Adaptability is your ability to bend without breaking, adjust without losing your core, and thrive even when the ground shifts beneath your feet. 12.1 why adaptability matters. Think of a tree in a storm. The stiff, rigid tree snaps. The flexible tree bends with the wind, then rises again. That's adaptability. Without it, life feels like constant chaos. With it, change becomes fuel for growth. 12.2. The 3 mindsets of adaptable people. 1. Curiosity over certainty. They ask questions instead of clinging to old answers. 2. Learning over perfection. They focus on progress, not getting everything right the first time. 3. Possibility over fear. They see what could be instead of what they might lose. 12.3. The danger of rigidity. Rigid thinkers struggle because they expect life to stay still. When it doesn't, they complain instead of adjust. Stay stuck in outdated methods. Miss opportunities because they're afraid to pivot. Adaptability is the antidote. 12.4 Tools for building adaptability. Tool 1. Reframe change as growth. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" ask, "How is this happening for me?" Tool 2. Practice small shifts. Change your routine in tiny ways. Try a new route, learn a new skill, or experiment with new methods. Small shifts train your brain to see change as normal. Tool 3. Stay future-focused. Ask yourself, what skill, mindset, or connection will help me thrive tomorrow, not just today? Tool 4. Embrace uncertainty. Replace the need for control with the confidence to handle whatever comes. 12.5 Real-life example. A woman loses her job suddenly. Without adaptability, she panics, freezes, and struggles to move forward. With adaptability, she feels the shock, but reframes it as an opening. She learns new digital skills, connects with new people, and eventually finds a career better suited to her passion. Same event, different mindset. 12.6 Adaptability in action. Ask yourself 3 questions in any situation of change. 1. What can I control right now? 2. What can I learn from this? 3. How can I pivot to create new opportunities? These 3 keep you steady in uncertainty. 12.7 Your assignment. This week, 1. Identify one area in your life where change is happening or overdue. 2. Reframe it. Write down at least one hidden opportunity in that change. 3. Take one small adaptive action. Learn, pivot, or experiment. 4. Reflect on how it felt to lean into change instead of resisting it. 12.8 The big idea. Change is not the enemy, it's the environment. Your adaptability decides whether you survive or thrive. Unlockers don't fight the storm, they learn to dance in the rain. With adaptability in your toolkit, you're ready to step into leadership, not just of others, but of yourself. That's what we'll explore next in Chapter 13, Self-Leadership, Becoming the CEO of Your Own Life. Chapter 13, Self-Leadership, Becoming the CEO of Your Own Life. Every great company has a leader, someone who sets the vision, makes the tough calls, and steers the team toward success. Your life is no different. If you don't step up as the CEO of your own life, someone else will make the decisions for you, your boss, your family, society, or even your fears. Self-leadership is about taking full responsibility for where you are and where you're going. It's about leading yourself first so you can lead your life with clarity, courage, and purpose. 13.1 Why Self-Leadership Matters. You can have vision, Chapter 2. You can build habits, Chapter 7. You can even master focus, Chapter 10. But without self-leadership, all of it drifts. Self-leadership means you don't wait for permission. You don't blame circumstances. You decide, you act, you adjust. Leaders are not born, leaders are built from the inside out. 13.2 The core of self-leadership. There are 3 pillars every self-leader masters. 1. Self-awareness, knowing your strengths, weaknesses, values, and triggers. 2. Self-management, controlling your impulses, emotions, and energy. 3. Self-direction, setting goals and steering your life toward them. Together, these form the backbone of personal leadership. 13.3. The ownership shift. At some point, every unlocker makes a shift from victim to owner. Victims say, "Life is happening to me." Owners say, "Life is happening through me." This ownership shift is the heart of self-leadership. 13.4. Leading yourself daily. Practical ways to lead yourself. Morning CEO meeting. Start your day by reviewing your top 3 priorities. Ask, "If I only accomplish these, will today be successful?" Decision filters. Use your values as a compass. Ask, "Does this choice align with who I want to become?" Energy audits. Notice who and what drains you versus energizes you. Adjust accordingly. Accountability systems. Track habits, use reminders, or partner with someone who keeps you sharp. 13.5. Real-life example. Think of a man working a job he doesn't love. He could complain, stay stuck, and blame the economy. That's victim mode. Instead, he steps into self-leadership. He sets a vision to build a business within 3 years. He learns skills after hours, networks on weekends, and manages his finances with discipline. Step by step, he shifts from employee to entrepreneur. That's the CEO mindset in action. 13.6. Leadership beyond yourself. Here's the truth. When you lead yourself well, others notice. You inspire your family, your friends, your team. Leadership is contagious. But it always starts with you. 13.7. Your assignment. This week. 1. Write down your top 3 life values, the principles that guide your decisions. 2. Do a morning CEO meeting for 5 days straight. Set your top 3 priorities and stick to them. 3. Identify one area where you've been waiting for permission or blaming others. Shift to ownership by asking, "What step can I take right now?" 13.8. The big idea. The greatest leader you will ever follow is yourself. When you step into self-leadership, you stop drifting and start steering. You become intentional, responsible, and powerful. And when you lead yourself, you unlock the ability to design your future consciously. That's what we'll uncover next in Chapter 14, Designing Your Unlocked Life, Integrating It All. Chapter 14, Designing Your Unlocked Life, Integrating It All. Up to this point, we've unlocked pieces of the puzzle: beliefs, emotions, courage, grit, adaptability, and leadership. But knowledge alone doesn't transform a life. Integration does. Designing your unlocked life means weaving all these lessons together into a clear vision, supported by daily actions, so you're not just learning, you're living. 14.1. Life by default versus life by design. Most people live life by default. They drift into jobs, routines, and relationships. They react to circumstances instead of shaping them. They end up somewhere they never consciously chose. Unlockers live life by design. They choose where they want to go. They align daily actions with their vision. They design their environment to support growth. 14.2. The 4 dimensions of an unlocked life. To live fully, you must grow in 4 key areas. 1. Mind, your thoughts, mindset, learning. 2. Body, your health, energy, and physical resilience. 3. Relationships, the people who support and inspire you. 4. Purpose, the work or mission that gives meaning. An unlocked life is balanced across all 4, not perfect, but intentional. 14.3. Crafting your personal vision. Take time to imagine your ideal life in detail. Ask yourself, what does a great day look like for me? Who am I surrounded by? How do I contribute to the world? How do I feel about myself? Write it down. Clarity brings power. 14.4. Building systems, not just goals. Goals are good, but systems sustain you. Goal: run a marathon. System: train 4 days a week. Goal: grow in knowledge. System: read 20 minutes daily. Systems are repeatable actions that move you steadily toward your vision. 14.5 Environment design. Your environment shapes you more than willpower if you want success. Fill your space with reminders of your vision. Keep tools for growth close and distractions far. Surround yourself with people who fuel, not drain, your energy. 14.6 Real-life example. Think of a young professional who feels stuck. She learns about mindset, builds courage, practices grit, and adapts to change. But her real transformation begins when she integrates it all. She designs a morning routine, creates a vision board, sets clear systems, and surrounds herself with mentors. Within a year, her life looks radically different, not because of one big leap, but because of intentional design. 14.7 Your assignment. This week. 1. Write down your personal vision statement, 1 page describing the life you're designing. 2. Identify one system that will move you toward it and commit for 30 days. 3. Adjust your environment, remove one distraction, and add one support that helps you grow. 14.8 The big idea. An unlocked life doesn't happen by chance. It's designed with clarity, systems, and intention. You already have the tools. Now it's time to put them together into the masterpiece of your own life. With everything integrated, there's only one step left: sealing this journey with a lasting commitment. That's what we'll explore in our final chapter, Chapter 15, Living Unlocked, Your Ongoing Journey. Chapter 15, Living Unlocked, Your Ongoing Journey. Unlocking your mind is not a one-time event. It's a lifelong journey. Along the way, you'll face new fears, fresh challenges, unexpected detours. But now you carry the tools: awareness, courage, grit, adaptability, and self-leadership. You've designed the blueprint for your unlocked life. The journey continues, one choice at a time. 15.1 The journey, not the destination. There's no finish line in personal growth. Every level you reach unlocks a new one. That's not failure, that's progress. Think of yourself like a mountain climber. Each peak gives you a wider view. Each climb strengthens you for the next. And with every step, you realize the journey itself is the reward. 15.2 Daily commitments for an unlocked life. To keep living unlocked. Revisit your vision often. Adjust it as you grow. Practice your systems consistently. Stay adaptable when life shifts unexpectedly. Lead yourself daily with clarity and responsibility. Small actions, repeated with consistency, keep the lock off your potential. 15.3 The legacy of an unlocker. When you live unlocked, you inspire others. Your courage gives others permission to act. Your grit encourages others not to quit. Your adaptability shows others that change can be an opportunity. Your life becomes a message. Growth is possible, freedom is possible, transformation is possible. 15.4 Your ongoing assignment. 1. Choose one practice from this book that resonated most with you. 2. Commit to it for the next 30 days. 3. Journal how it changes your energy, mindset, and results. Remember, transformation is built in daily layers. 15.5 The big idea. Living unlocked is not about perfection, it's about progress. It's about showing up, staying open, and leading yourself into the life you imagine. Your mind is no longer in chains. You hold the keys, use them boldly. Final word and call to action studio. Thank you for walking through this journey with me. If this book has spoken to you, if even one idea has shifted your perspective, then your transformation has already begun. Backhand index pointing right. Subscribe to this channel for more insightful life advice and practical guidance on becoming the best version of yourself. Backhand index pointing right. And now, I'd love to hear from you. Which chapter impacted you the most? What's one step you're committing to take starting today? Drop your answer in the comments. I'll be reading them, and your story might inspire someone else to begin their journey. Because when we unlock our minds together, we create a world of limitless possibilities. So here's my last question to you. What will you unlock next?